I think it's appalling. They're wild animals, they are.
It's outdated, outmoded. It's a rubbish form of entertainment.
The only thing that's really going to stop me from doing what I'm doing at the minute is me falling dead.
Boy Tsavo to the front.
This is where I do all the work with the animals. You just want to follow me in?
25-year-old Thomas Chipperfield is from a family of lion tamers. His dad did it, his granddad did it, and he says it's in his blood.
I've got quite large shoes to fill, more than anything else. It doesn't mean that I've got a natural right to do anything. I've got to earn my place. That should be right. The animals have always been very, very good. There was an occasion in Northern Ireland when I was working over there where the generator supplying power to the show just failed completely. It wasn't a matter of a trip going off, it was the generator shut down. I was in the middle of rolling one of my tigers over. She was right in front of me, just as close as where you are now to me. And they would have been able to see me because their night vision is excellent, and they would have been able to see that I couldn't see them. So if they'd wanted to do something, that would have been their opportunity and they would have seized it. Okay, we'll just close these up and then we'll be ready to go.
Thomas is now going to do his training. Does this every day with all of his animals, brings them in while it's quiet and makes sure they're up to speed on all the different routines and commands. There they are there. There's two lions I can see.
Come on, Tsavo. Right, good boy, Tsavo. On your place. On your place, Tsavo. Good boy, Assegai. On your place. Good boys. Up, Tsavo. Good boys. Come, look, Tsavo. Chicken. Come on here. Quick, here. Here, Tsavo. Quick. Come here. Come here. Come around here. Quick. Well, you just lost that. Up. Tsavo, quick. Up. Sit up, Tsavo. Good boy. Sit up. Assegai, sit up. Assegai, sit up. Tsavo, sit up. Quick. Assegai, sit up. Assegai, sit up. All right. Good boys.
Thomas, while you were training there, I'll be completely honest with you, I found it thrilling. My heart was racing, but also I didn't enjoy the experience.
You didn't enjoy the experience?
I was more worried about you than I was enjoying the actual spectacle of what I was seeing. Do you find you get that response from people?
No, people really too seem to enjoy it. They seem to go, wow, that's amazing what you can do with these guys, how well you can work with them.
When you're in the cage there, or even here, you can really sense the power that these lions and tigers have got. Do you not think they should be unleashing that? Do you not feel sometimes you just want to let them run?
Well, these guys do run in here, they do play in here, they do exert their energy. What you saw is ample exercise for them to have superior cardiovascular health to what zoo animals have, and I've been told that by a zoo vet very recently.
Although the circus has all the right paperwork to tour Wales, Thomas was refused a licence to operate in England. The Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs said the big cat sleeping area was too small.
They didn't refuse us, they just said that we have to...
It was rejected though, wasn't it? That's a refusal, isn't it?
No, it wasn't rejected. They gave us recommendations in order to move forward to obtain the licence, but then the time for the application ran out and they said we'll have to start the process again because there's a time limit issue on it. It wasn't an actual refusal, it was you have to meet these recommendations to get the licence.
The same rules don't apply in Wales, so this summer the Lions have been touring town to town. The latest stop is this small village called Tamer near Neath in South Wales. This will be one of the last places that the circus tours in Wales this season, and next season's future is uncertain. What do you think of the fact that the Lion show's here?
Well, I don't think it's suitable entertainment for youngsters today. I think, there's far more interesting things for them to see and do, and it just seems cruel, doesn't it, to keep the animals locked in cages. We think that, guys, don't we? Yeah.
As far as the animal welfare is concerned, I think they're well looked after, and it's a bit of a novelty.
It's absolutely appalling. I gather only through my wife that in Scotland it's banned. Is that correct?
No, it's not banned anywhere in the country.
Anywhere in the country. Well, I got my information wrong. Well, it's about time the British government did.
Banning wild animals in circuses has been a political hot potato for many years. The last government promised to ban it, as does this one. But for over a year they've issued a similar statement, saying it will happen as soon as parliamentary time allows. Now, faced with increasing pressure here in Wales, the Welsh Government has decided to act alone and is looking into whether or not to ban it themselves. Don't you feel that you're in a situation where the public opinion just isn't with you anymore? And that this is now out of fashion, just like other things to do with animals. I don't know, badger baiting, cockfighting, these things that used to be perfectly acceptable and perfectly popular just aren't around anymore. Do you think this is the way it's going?
Well, I don't think so at all. As I've said to you already, it's a case that we've actually had a lot of support from people everywhere we've gone. And the examples of outdated traditions that you've just mentioned, they were all outlawed based on welfare concerns. There are no welfare concerns with what we're doing at the minute. The opposition to what we're doing is purely ideological.
There are 3 wild animal circuses left in Britain. Thomas and his team are the only ones with big cats. And they say keeping the show on the road is as much about campaigning for their way of life as making a living. Thomas and his family are well used to the abuse and scrutiny they get wherever they go. They get protesters, petitions and politicians calling for them to stop, and in some cases they even get death threats. I hope your disgusting and cruel regime is bombed out of existence. 4:30 p.m, and as the doors open, the guests begin to arrive, as do the protesters.
It is really cruel what they're doing with the circus animals. They're making animals perform unnatural acts by way of cruelty to make them do it. So I felt like I had to come out.
How do you respond to the fact that there hasn't been any welfare issues related to the animals in all the inspections that have been taking place at this and the other zoos using wild animals?
The DEFRA, all they inspect is the animals are well and that they've been fed, and that's it. They don't... At the end of the day, any animal needs a large amount of space, which they don't have. The RSPCA are not happy with the fact that they're being moved, the way they're transported.
I understand that about 95% of the public is against the circus and the abuse of animals like this. It's unnecessary these days.
But there are still people who are coming in here and paying their money.
Not very many. Not very many.
There are more people paying to go in there than there are protesters, though.
There are. That's a shame, isn't it?
Amongst the team, Thomas's dad, Tommy, waits for showtime.
People say we're Victorian, I suppose. A lot of these demonstrators call us Victorian, but then so is horse racing. Rules and regulations keep everything in line, and that's all we ask for, just to be regulated. We do whatever has to be done to make sure the animals are well cared for.
This is a typical Saturday tea time show. Around 90 people turned up to the venue that can take 200. The lion taming section lasts around 15 minutes, with short wildlife talks before and after.
Over, Tsavo, good boy. Good boy, Tsavo, on your place, quick. Tsavo, quick. Hello, Tsavo, quick. Quick, here, come here now, good boy. Here, Tsavo, quick. Here, Tsavo, good boy, here.
Then it's out to see the tigers up close.
I thought it was a wonderful show, magnificent creatures, both the lions and tigers.
I think there should be more, to be honest. If them people outside had come in just to have a look...
And to experience for themselves.
If they feel bad, I can understand them protesting.
There are polls that say, that 90% of people in this country don't want wild animals used in circuses. Do you think the polls are wrong? Do you think people do want this?
Yeah, that's why loads of us are coming today.
But not everyone was happy with what they saw.
I do think the enclosure is a little small, to be honest. I mean, if I was the size of a tiger, I wouldn't want to live in that space for the rest of my life.
Yet you still paid the money and come along today. Does that make you feel guilty in a way, or?
Yeah, a little bit.
Up here. Boy.
The tour of Wales is almost over. After a scramble to find a landowner willing to host them, Thomas's next stop is Swansea. There, already waiting for him, will be the same mixture of wonder and contempt he's experienced all summer. Your family's been doing this for a long time, but we're at a stage now where you're being described as Britain's last lion tamer. Do you think that's the case?
Well, we don't know what the future holds. If we keep going the way we are, then my children will be able to carry on in my footsteps. But it's hard to tell what the future holds.